Have you guys ever thought of obsessions as actually a good thing? Because I mean, normally when I think about obsessions, I'm thinking like, right, like crazy things like, okay, you're a man's obsessed with the woman, or you're obsessed with, I don't know, doing strange things. Like, I won't even go there. But normally, right, obsessions are considered a bad thing. But I was curious, like, what if we changed our perspective about what obsessions actually mean, right? So we shifted and said, hey, so an obsession, let's say an obsession with your relationship, right? So your relationship with your husband, wife, whatever. So, but the obsession is actually figuring out how your spouse communicates, right? So you figure out that, okay, when you guys get into a fight, your wife wants to deal with it head on and deal with it right away. And you need to blow off steam and you need to be quiet and kind of process what went on and how you want to respond. And so you walk away. And what if, right, you switch the obsession to, you know what if I was obsessed with figuring out how my spouse communicates, right? Or obsessed with how your spouse enjoys being loved, right? Like the five love languages. Maybe you figure out that, okay, my wife actually really loves quality time. She just likes to spend time with me. Or you really figure out that he really likes touch, right? So, but you become obsessed with figuring out how to do that, right? Or you become obsessed with having budget meetings with your husband or wife. And I'm like, what if we shifted the obsessions to something more positive, right? Because you're obsessed with something, to me, it means that you focus your attention on that thing a lot, that thing or that person, right? But what you focus on expands, right? Or let's say not only your relationships, but let's say your friendships. You started focusing on your friendships and you became obsessed with figuring out, how do I heal my broken friendships? How do you start reaching out to someone where you need to heal the relationship, right? So maybe you're picking up the phone and calling them and you're basically rehashing and talking about what happened and why your relationship is broken, right? Why that friendship is broken. Or let's say, right? So if it's a friendship, it's, let's say you just need to figure out how to call people more on their birthdays, or call people more when, let's say somebody in their family passes away, to actually pick up the phone and not always using text messages. But in order for things to basically to work out and things to work well in your life, I'm sorry, you kind of have to become obsessed with them, right? So when somebody calls you, you don't wait 6 months to call them back, right? And call it a friendship. And I mean, not to say that it doesn't happen, because it does happen, right? And you can pick up where you left off. I get that. But still, what if, right, we were trying harder and we were actually focusing on the things that we wanted to achieve and the things that we wanted to grow and give more attention to? So, yeah, becoming obsessed with it wouldn't be such a horrible thing, right? Or becoming obsessed with your debt. I became obsessed with my debt. That was why I was able to pay the student loans off, because I was obsessed. I was up late at night calculating how much more I could put towards the debt per month. I was up trying to figure out, okay, well, if I put this much towards it at this time of the month and put this much money towards my debt at this time of the month, okay, well, what would that mean? What would it look like? Oh, and the lights go out. And it's dark. Uh-oh. Good times. But what would that look like, right? But in order for me to do that and to pay off the debt, I had to become obsessed with it. I mean, I was listening to podcasts every day. Things are about to start turning on in my car. I was listening to podcasts every day about people becoming debt free, how they became debt free, what did they do, what did they listen to, what did they read. I was obsessed. My family told me straight up, they were like, you are really obsessed with this. We want you to know. And you're driving us crazy talking about it all the time. But shift your perspective and change, quote unquote, negative obsessions change your perspective about it. Obsessions could be a good thing. It just means you're trying to focus on your life and focus on different aspects of your life that you want to improve. Because the things you focus on, they expand. You can grow in those areas. So I don't know. Really, I'm just saying, become obsessed with a few things in your life. So obsessed with your relationships with your spouse, with your kids, that you're figuring out, how can we spend more time with each other? How can I figure out how they communicate? How can I figure out how to love them better? And start focusing on your debt. You want to pay off student loans, whatever it is, focus on it. Focus so much that it's almost disgusting. People are like, why do you keep talking about this debt? Why do you keep talking? Focus so much on the different aspects of your life that you want to change, that people are like, this dude has some serious obsessions. Focus on it so much that people think it's disgusting. But guess what? I guess at the end of the year, you'll see that you've actually gotten somewhere. That you've actually made some strides in your own life because you became positively obsessed with your own gosh darn life. What's so bad about that? Have a good night, guys.